Oh, hello. What is up, you dirty bitches? Ow. So, we hit Iran, and Iran hit us back, and Trump called for a ceasefire between Israel and Iran. And here's my concern. I've got a few things that bother me. You know, in the Old Testament, Israel wasn't Israel. Israel wasn't actually formed until, the one that is now in the 40s. And so the Israel of the Bible is not the same place. And after Jesus died on the cross, Israel wasn't who they are now anyway. So, and after they killed, Jesus, that deal was over. They're not his people anymore, the churches. And so it's my concern that, hey, why are we supporting Israel? Especially when they have, a lot of people that are not peaceful at all. And it seems to me that we might be really confused on who and what and why we support things. And so while we're on the brink of a nuclear war and, shit's about to go haywire, we're going to celebrate the 4th of July coming up here pretty quick. And it's a concern for me because I don't think that we should celebrate so readily. We want to celebrate our independence in that. But, the fact is, we're all slaves. As soon as you were born in the United States with that Social Security number, you got sold. You got sold to the U.S. government and to the Queen of England. So there's that, the federal government. So, nobody likes to hear that, and it's very, unpopular to say. Nobody likes that, and I really don't give a shit because nobody told me that. Nobody, I didn't learn that anywhere from anybody else but myself, and it took a long time. It took me into my, 50 years old to get it on my own, and, that was from doing my own research and figuring things out for myself. Nobody's going to volunteer that information, nobody but me, because I'm either dumb enough or brave enough, whatever. I really don't care anymore. There's so many things that, that they have been indoctrinated into teaching us in schools. Even college was the worst thing I ever did for my faith. But, with that, there's attacks from all sides. So I'm being targeted, as usual. I'm getting you these emails that are telling me, thanks for your purchase, and, PayPal's buying an iPhone 10 or whatever, tablets, iPads, all this kind of crap that I'm supposedly buying. And I got the addresses that they're being delivered to. Well, here's the thing, PayPal. I don't have any money, number one. So why, if they can buy some shit on my PayPal account, why can't I? You won't let me buy nothing, but you'll let somebody that's stealing my identity. That's total bullshit. So you guys go ahead and run with that. I really don't care. It's not connected to me, and I don't give a crap. This is to document that too. And I'll tell you right now who it is. It's the same dirty bastards that tried to get me to kill myself, a few years ago. Yeah, that rat bastard that's in the club, that's also a freaking DEA, so whatever. I really don't care. They wouldn't listen to me then, and I don't care if they don't hear me now. Apparently, that's the kind of thing they got going now in these outlaw motorcycle clubs, So it is what it is, and I don't even care. I spent my lifetime putting these people up on a pedestal only to find out that they were dirty. So, I don't have any loyalties anymore. And, they dropped me like a bad habit as soon as, I found out their dirty little secret. So, I don't even have family or friends like that anymore. I just don't. I don't put my faith in people anymore. I put my faith in God. That's all there is. Everything else is an illusion. Everything else is smoke and mirrors, set to distract you or, confuse you, distort you. all of it. And I'm just thankful today that I'm not out there chasing that mighty dollar. I don't care for it. There's nothing I need so badly that I gotta have it. The latest, greatest piece of crap. I don't. I just don't, and I don't want to be a part of any of it. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that I don't have the illusion that I need to feed, the greed and the corporate monsters and all the bullshit. I'm not a mass consumer of anything. Thank you for that. I'm so glad. Becoming a minimalist was the best thing I ever did for myself, because I still know people that they just gotta go have more crap. I gotta go get some more money so I can get some more crap that I don't need, it's just stupid. While we could make a big difference in this world, everything I do, I do it with nothing. I feed the homeless with nothing. So imagine that. 0 income, and I'm still the only one I know that's out there doing it, with nothing. So how do I do that? It's amazing to me how I do that. I did it for a year without my church, and now the year that I've been doing it with my church, it seems like I struggle more now than I did then. So I don't know. I don't know how I do it. With the grace of God, that's how. By the grace of God, and I still don't know. It's a very trying time, and the monsters and the evil that's out there running shit, they want to destroy you. It's true. They want to destroy you, and especially if you're a good person and you can stand up to evil. I don't care. That's the way I'll go down, fighting. I will go down fighting injustice and evil and tyranny and anybody that thinks that they can run me, because I'm not the one. I'm just not the one to bend over for anybody. I'm not easily influenced. I'm not easily swayed. I used to be probably pretty gullible, but I don't think I am anymore, and I'm not going to let anybody, tell me what I need to think or how I need to feel about anything. There's, people even close to me that are just snakes, and I don't have tolerance for it. I don't have the patience for having to wonder who just screwed me over now, so I don't want it in my life. I don't need those people in my life at all. And you know what? It's not hard to figure out, because I don't have a bunch of people in my life. So yeah, I narrow it down pretty quickly. You're not a magician. You're not very clever, and I don't have the time for it. So while you can, play sweetie pie and put on your fake shit, I'm not the one. And so cutting people out is what I'm doing, left and right, and I don't have patience for it. I don't want douchebaggery in my life. That's where I'm at. So you're excused. Thanks for playing. And that's where it's at. Ever since I turned 50, it's been a struggle, man. I was with someone that really treated me, tried to gaslight me, and because they wanted me to kill myself. But luckily for me, I'm more homicidal than suicidal, Or at least I'm willing to protect myself. Once I realized it was being done intentionally, that's when I got mad enough to do something about it. And I got the hell out of there, It's amazing to me that, such a huge club of these big, powerful fucking people that would want to just take me down, get rid of me, like I'm the problem. No, I'm the one that's going to expose you for your problem. And that's exactly the same thing that I was watching this documentary about these other clubs and how the pagans did it. That's exactly what they did. They just wanted numbers. They blew up because they wanted numbers, and they were willing to sell their patch, and that's what they did. For money, anybody can have a patch. Imagine that. It's funny, but it wasn't until I realized, that patch when they were going to take the mongrels, that patch is owned by the feds. Did you know that? Your patch is owned by the Fed. It's a federal offense to burn your patch. Imagine that. So the feds own the clubs is what they do. Yeah, they own you. So welcome to that, you know. I am so not blown away by that. You know, they had to conform in order to survive, so enjoy it. Now you're, you know, part of the club that, you know, is owned. You're owned, so you're a slave too. You're all slaves, and you think you're outlaws. You're not. You're not. What kind of outlaw gets his motorcycle endorsement? That's what I'm saying. I don't even know what that's about, but whatever. That's my opinion. I know it's strong, and a lot of people aren't going to be very happy about it. That's too bad. I don't give a shit anymore. You know, I'm more of an outlaw than most of these fuckers think they are. So that's why I've been banned from the outlaws. That's okay. They must have got their feelings hurt. I don't care. They must be woke. Anyway, I'm not going to pick on them too much because I've already done enough damage, and I'm sure that will be, you know, my undoing. I really don't give a rip if they can't handle it. It's my truth, and I don't care who don't like it. I don't. So, you know, you were never there for me when I needed you anyway, so don't act like I betrayed anybody. You were never my friend. Anyway, I am strong in my faith. I'm strong in who I am, even though I don't exactly know, you know, I don't need family to be me. You know what I mean? I don't need anybody co-signing me to be me. I have my own identity, and I am me. Those are my pronouns. I am me. Mine. That's it. I, me, mine. That's it. So I don't need to belong or fit in, and I don't need you to like me. I really don't. You know, I've gone for so long with so little that now I can do anything with nothing, period. And I don't need anybody's support. I don't need anybody's handout. I don't want it. You know, I've tried to do that and get people to, you know, maybe help me out, but anymore, I know that's not going to happen. And so I don't even try to get people to support me anymore, because I know I'm not popular. I know I'm not, you know, people don't like me because of my opinions, and that's fine. You can not like me because, you know, truth be told, if you look for the negative in people, you're going to find it. And if you look for the positive in people, you're going to find that too. You know, we are all fallible. None of us are perfect. All I know is that at least at the end of the day, I try to be better than I was yesterday. I just want to be better than I was yesterday, and to be a better person than I was, or learn something new every day. Try to, you know, have a purpose. Try to have some kind of purpose in life, because it's short, it's fleeting, and I see people wasting their time and their resources on shit that doesn't matter. And I hope that makes them happy and it gets them through, but, you know, I do more with nothing than most people do with their whole life. You know, they don't give anything back. They're so self-centered and self-absorbed that they don't look outside themselves and see where they can be of service to someone else. Help somebody that's in need. You know, it's not that hard to, you know, give somebody a coat or a pair of socks or a sandwich or a bowl of soup. You know, it's only until I'm taken advantage of that I stop helping, and I'll just move on to the next person that needs my help. And that's who I am. So, you know, you know there's a difference between people that just take and are happy taken from you, and don't give anything back in return. Not that I want anything in return, but appreciation. That would go a long way with me. But they just want to continue to take. And even if you're not willing to give it to them, they'll take that too anyway. They don't care. If you're not willing to give it, then they'll keep taking. and just obliviously. They don't care. So, there's a ministry song back in the day, ministry Psalm 67, never trust a junkie. It's true. Most people that are involved in heavy drug use, a lot of people are, most of them, a lot of them, that's why homeless people have that, reputation. A lot of them do. Because a lot of them are on drugs and a lot of them can't be trusted. But let me tell you something right now. I am not one of them. I had two neighbor ladies on either side of me in homes, and both of them absolutely love having me there. And I'm still there. As a matter of fact, I still keep that spot because you never know what might happen in these little tiny homes. And so I keep my spot, and I do yard work, and I make sure that, these ladies are taken care of, because it's important to me. It's important to me to keep my space clean and take out the trash and not have a bunch of riffraff hanging out. And I honor them that way. And I don't know how many other homeless people can say that the neighbors that they live next to actually wanted them there. And I can, and I'm proud of that. It's a strange time, and there's a lot of, with AI coming up, you never know what's fake, what's not. And I think there's a lot of indoctrination of things that we have been taught that are not right, and we've got to figure that out for ourselves, and think for ourselves, and have discernment and critical thinking. Do you believe things because that's what you were taught, or is that what you really feel? And you got to question everything you ever thought you knew, because most of the things that we're taught are wrong. So rethink everything. Go back to every single emotion, every single feeling you think you know, and reevaluate it. Do I really feel that way, or is that just something somebody told me to feel? Just like with parents, when they brainwash their kids to hate the other parent, they use them as weapons and shit. That's being indoctrinated. You're brainwashed by your parents, and you hate your other parent because that's what your, other parent told you to do. And that's not what you really believe. And if you give them a chance, you'd know that. But because you were so brainwashed by the parents that you trusted, that, you don't know your own feelings. You don't know how you really feel about anybody or anything, because you trusted your parent to not steer you wrong. And parents have failed their children. They let the government raise them. They let the government raise their kids, and now they're woke. It's heartbreaking. Kids think they want to change their sex and stuff at, 7, 8 years old, 10 years, 12. I'm sorry, but you don't even know what the hell you're doing yet. You don't even know what you're into yet. I didn't lose my virginity till I was well over 14. And I thought I knew what I wanted, but if I was smart, I would have held on to that. I would have held on to it till marriage, because it is sacred, and it should have been treated as such. Your body is your temple, and if you don't value, or if you don't respect yourself, and then why should anybody else? And that's where it's at. If you don't have any self-respect, don't expect anybody else to have any for you. And that's where it's at. So you guys go ahead and get your 20th booster, and know that that's such the biggest. I can't believe how many people got roped into that. I'm just saying. And now they're dying. They're dying because of that. So, they're coming around with another one. You watch. Apparently in France, yesterday or Saturday at a music festival, there were dozens of men running around stabbing women with syringes, and they don't know exactly what was in them yet, but there was 12 men arrested that had syringes, and they were stabbing women in the back and in the, in their sides, and stabbing them with these syringes. We don't know what was in them yet, but this is at a music festival, outside, where you're dancing around, enjoying yourself. And if you're not safe there, then where are you safe? I'm not going to celebrate the 4th of July. I don't believe that we are free. I don't believe that we are independent. I believe that we are being manipulated and controlled from unseen forces. It's obvious. You know that they've been using their dark programs. Apparently, 76 days before Trump took office, $93 billion went out in loans with no record of where they went or what businesses and what business models they had. How do you do that? How do you even get the money back if you don't know who you loaned it to? Blows my mind. Unbelievable. So that's what our government's doing. And they're going to sit there and act like they don't. Oh, I don't know. Well, bullshit. I call bullshit. And until these fuckers start telling the truth, we need to shut them down. We need to start putting these motherfuckers' heads on sticks. And that's what I'm saying. I don't care. We need to take back our country because it's not being represented by the people. And our Constitution's being stripped from us. Our rights are being taken away. And we're complacent with it. If we do not do something, stand up and revolt against this shit, then we are accomplice to it. We are right there with them if we do not do something. We're privy to it. If you know about it and you're not doing nothing about it, you are facilitating it and allowing it, and you're guilty of it, period. So that's why I'm sitting here, screaming from the rooftops about it, and I have been for I don't know how long, but nobody listens to me because I'm just that crazy bitch, right? That's okay, because, at least I spoke my mind. At least I remain true to myself and authentic, because nobody else seems to know what that is. Nobody else seems to know, oh, it's going to affect my job if yeah, you know what? Screw your job, screw your house, all of it. Because if you don't stand up for something that you believe in, then you're going to fall for anything, and you're a slave. And you are. And that's what these people, they're sheep. They're sheep being led off into slaughter. So enjoy that. I will remain authentic when they come in with the 6G and everybody's assimilated, whether they like it or not, because it's biohacking. Your skin is the largest sensor or your largest organ, and they can tap into it, especially now with the COVID spike protein. They can tap into you, log on, and change whatever they want. So congratulations to that. Hey, I'll give you a Krispy Kreme donut, or here's a $20, for your participation in this huge mass genocide. Basically, I lost people. I'm not a. Oh, and for the people that didn't, anybody that was able to resist getting that jab, that clot shot, if you managed to resist getting that and you stayed true to yourself, I want you to realize that if something happens to you, say you get in a car accident, say you get in a horrible car accident and you have to go to the hospital and you have to get, and you need a blood transfusion, know that blood will probably have that spike protein in it. You're going to get it. So try not to hurt yourself. Try not to have to go to the doctor. Try not to have to go to the hospital, because they don't give a shit. The hospitals are where they're killing people. They're picking and choosing who lives and who dies. Simple as that. So I'm not even going to get into what they did to me. So that's all I got. That's all I know. I'm going to try to go help somebody today. I don't know how I'm going to, but I'm going to. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something for someone. So that's all I got. That's all I know. Peace out.